Aloha and welcome to Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Today I have my lovely friend, Ali Doughty.
Hi.
And we're going to start off. First, if you guys can like and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. And if you would leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate that. And the first thing is tell me a little bit about you and how we met each other, which I think we met each other twice, right?
Yeah. So I think we met at a karaoke bar, right?
Yeah.
I remember my girlfriend was looking at your tattoos and I was kind of but I was, I
don't
you were
remember
cool.
that.
I definitely remember that.
Was I sober?
I don't know.
I probably
actually
wasn't at this time.
Yeah. But anyways, she liked your tattoos, but yeah, I thought you were pretty cool. And then, we just kind of keep meeting each other. So that's fun.
Yeah.
It's a very small community here. So, we're bound to keep seeing each other.
Yeah. That's cool. I love that spot. Was that Wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wings is so great. I love Wings.
Fucking love that place.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wings. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Just all the bartenders and stuff. They're just Lucy. They're thank God you're here. Because there's some people that can't sing. And I'm I got you, girl.
hey. I can sing at least a little bit.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't mind that. But it's because sometimes I feel it's annoying that I can sing. That I'm dude, people don't want me here.
No, you're a good singer. It's
Thanks.
really cool to go there and see people sing so much. And it's so impressive. Yeah.
I'm actually more impressed by people that can't sing that are so into it,
Yeah, but it hurts your ears.
Yeah, it does. But I have so much respect though.
That's true.
I'm fuck it, they're having the best time, and then people get into it just because it's their energy. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's a weird kink for me. But anyway,
it's a really good vibe though. Yeah.
Tell me about where you grew up.
So I grew up in Utah. I grew up in Arizona until I was 8, and then lived in Utah for the rest of the time. So St. George for till I was about 13, and then we moved to a really small town outside of St. George. So this is southern Utah, and then I went up to school in northern Utah.
What is it like over there? I've never been.
Which part? You've never been to Utah?
No.
Really?
Why would I go there?
Okay, so if I were to describe Utah in my experience, I would say there's so many outdoorsy things. So I grew up rock climbing. I grew up
cool.
boating, cliff jumping, horseback riding.
Okay, that's cool.
It's kind of
so
country.
there's a lot of outdoor stuff.
Yeah, a lot of outdoor stuff. It's super pretty, and it's also very conservative. And kind of the stereotype is that everybody in Utah is Mormon. So there's a lot of Mormons. I think it's 75%.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a huge community. If there's somebody that wasn't Mormon that I knew of, it was almost like an anomaly. It was whoa, you're not Mormon. So,
oh
but
God.
I think
I feel
that's
I'll just get
changed now.
stared at the whole time I'm there. Just stick out.
Honestly, you probably would. But there's a lot more progressive.
I'm scared.
There's a lot more progressive people now. People wear
okay.
tattoos and stuff like that. And I'm kind of the black sheep of the family because I have tattoos and I'm no longer a part of the religion. So it's really funny when I go back there, I just reverse culture shock.
Yeah.
Because I go and I'm oh my gosh, I used to be a part of that and now I'm not.
Right.
And it's so shocking. And I'm sure it's maybe a little bit shocking for them too.
Yeah.
But
you have childhood friends that you're still friends with?
Very few. Yeah.
Is it because of how different your lifestyle is?
Yeah, probably. There's been a couple friends that have kind of gone in the way that I've gone, kind of making their own path and stuff.
Yeah.
And not kind of believing the things that they grew up believing. And so that's kind of cool to be able to relate to them. And but I think it's not as many that I've kept up with, especially from high school and stuff like that. It's just
that makes sense.
very, very small.
So what brought you to Hawaii?
I get asked this question so much, and I don't
Girls are always running from something.
I wasn't running from anything.
She ran from Utah. No.
Well, okay. So let me explain. I have to go back a little bit in time.
Okay.
So when I went to Utah State for school, I ended up getting married because that.
Oh shit! You were married?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know.
That's crazy.
So I got married at 19. I dated the guy for about a year, and he wanted to get married, and I didn't, but I eventually.
He was Mormon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
he's it's been a year. This is the next step.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
and I was I don't think I'm ready. So we waited a couple more months, and then I felt I was okay, I'm ready. It'll be good. But I realized
it'll be great. We're 19. We got this.
Oh my gosh, I was so in over my head, and I really didn't know myself very well. And I remember telling him that, and I'm I'm not really sure who I am right now. And like, I don't know if like how much I'm going to change and stuff. And obviously I changed a lot.
I don't know when I'm gonna be gay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like, yeah, I'm actually queer, so I figured that out when I was married, and I kind of feel bad for the guy, but really not that bad, like, you know.
Well, it was part of like your development at some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
You had to have that experience to know, like, okay, this is not what I want. Or
yeah, exactly.
This doesn't like align with me, because
exactly.
I feel like when you're doing stuff that isn't within like the alignment of who you are, like. You have a sense of it, you know, but it's like sometimes it's hard to admit the truth to yourself.
Yeah, and it was just kind of, it didn't really feel like I was going down the path that I wanted to go down. However, like I am ex-Mormon. Like if you leave the church, you're told that you're going to hell. Like that is like the worst thing that you can do is leave the church after you've known the truth. And so I was really, really scared to ever leave the church or even to leave him, because it was everything that I'd ever known.
That makes sense. Dang, that's hard.
It was really, really hard. I was ready to leave the church, honestly, at like 17. But then I met him and I was like, oh, this is God's sign that I need to stay. And so I stayed for another 4 years. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
But in a way that was good, because it gave you like, you thought it was a test to stay, but it really gave you like the test and push to like, no, like,
to know
you're
that
not going to stay.
That wasn't the path that I wanted my life to go. Yeah. And that honestly, like, I had so much more potential than being a nanny in Portland. So after Utah, I told him I wasn't really feeling Utah, and like I didn't really like the Mormon church, and he was like, well, we should just leave Utah and then you'll like it better. And I was like, okay. So we moved to Oregon.
This guy's like coming up with all the solutions to keep you. He's like, well.
He did his best, I guess. So we moved to Oregon, and I still didn't like it. I was still like, this is...
Babe, you're gay. It's fine. Let's just move to another state. You'll be, let's go over there. Like,
I did come out to him, and I was like, I think I should let you know, like, I kind of like girls. Like
He's
lot.
like, me too.
Yeah, he was like, well, that's cool. Like, you know, he was relatively open about it, but I was like, not really down to tell anybody else, because that's also seriously against the religion.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, so Oregon, I was a nanny, and then I was like, you know what? I can have a little bit more higher expectations for myself with a career, because I have a double major and 2 bachelor's degrees. So like I can.
In what?
Global communication and Chinese.
Fucking nerd. Just kidding. That's good. That's amazing.
Honestly, it really.
You mean Mandarin?
Yeah, it really wasn't that hard. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that hard.
Well, you're smart.
Well, it's a communication courses are really easy. Like, you just have to do the work, I guess, and do a lot of writing and stuff like that.
I like writing. So
I loved writing.
Yeah,
and the research and like the professors, everything was amazing. And honestly, that degree like kind of shaped my mind and like of being more expansive and like being more open-minded and realizing that there's a lot of conditioning in your childhood that like you either, well, for me at least, that I wanted to break free of.
Interesting.
Yeah. So after, I feel like in Oregon, I hit maybe my lowest point, and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen after that. And I didn't feel like it was the way that I was living my life was livable. And I just feel like I had to make some type of changes, and I had to kind of like follow my destiny or fate or whatever I felt like was pulling me towards.
See, nobody understands that unless you go through it.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, it sounds like kind of woo-woo or whatever, but like I genuinely felt like I was not going down the path that I was supposed to. Yeah. Like, things weren't aligning. And even looking back at pictures, like my face was so tight and stressed, and I was extremely depressed. So yay for at least hitting that low point, because then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done. I'm starting fresh, I guess. Yeah. And so I left the guy, and I got divorced, and I got a new job in sales. Did really good. I really liked it. And I was really happy in Oregon. So it wasn't like I was running away from Oregon. It's a big state. But
you're like slowly transforming into
I was transforming. And I was really
into your alignment.
Yeah, I was really, really excited about life. So it was almost like I felt like I couldn't do anything, and I felt extremely stuck.
Yeah.
And then like I left the church and I left him like the same month. And then it was like I felt like I could do anything. I felt like I could be anybody. I could live anywhere. I felt like so much freedom and so much independence. And like it just like kind of sang to my soul. Like I was so excited.
Yeah.
And we had a manager change in the job that I was at, and I didn't love the new manager, so I wanted to maybe stay with the company. Okay, he was a little sexist. There were two other women on the
Oh God.
yeah, two other women
those.
on the team, and like yeah, I just
Like, dude, I'm a bro. Like, stop.
yeah, I did not like that very much. I was like,
that
okay,
sucks.
no, it's okay. It wasn't. I've had worse. But anyways, so
Horrible.
I was like, I was looking at the different branches that the sales company I was working at had, and they had a branch in Honolulu. And I was like,
so is that
well, I could move to Honolulu. So I looked at flights, and I found a flight for $90
holy
in
shit?
April. Yeah.
What was this in 1990?
No, it was only like 3 years ago.
Oh shit.
Or 2.5 years ago. It
Dang,
was so
you've only
crazy.
been here for 3 years?
Yeah,
Dang, that's
I know.
awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool. And I was like, well, that's awesome. But like, I'd have to talk to my manager, and I'd have to find a place to stay. And I found a place to stay, and I've still been staying in that place. And I found it the same day that I found the flight.
That's crazy.
And it was the same price that I was paying
You're like, this is God.
in
telling
Portland.
me.
I mean, I don't know if I believe in God anymore,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this
yeah.
is definitely
Just kidding.
something that's like choo choo choo. Like everything's like lining up. And then as soon as I talked to my manager, he was like, yeah, like go for it. Like that's great. And I was
That's
like,
so cool.
what? So there wasn't a lot keeping me in Oregon, which is why I ended up here. And as soon as I got here, it was just amazing, and it was so healing for me, because like of all the trauma that I had been through, and that year honestly had been probably one of the worst years of my life. Like it was hell. And then being able to come here and honestly surf and be out in the water like was so
Get in touch with
healing for me.
nature.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody, and
Yeah.
I was pretty shy, and so
That's
I
pretty
didn't.
brave. How old are you when you moved out here?
I think I was 22.
So wait, how old are you turning? Your birthday's on Saturday?
Yeah. So I would be 23 then. Yeah, because I'm turning 26.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know.
Life at 26. 26, I was living in Los Angeles. It was right before I joined the
Rip.
military. Huh?
Rip.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. I'm
Fucking
sorry.
LA sucks.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
be really disappointed if I had to live in LA.
Yeah,
But-
the only reason I did it, I literally had 1 week to stay at my friend's house, and I said, I'll figure it out. Just give me 1 week at your house. And she's like, yeah, you're good. Like, even if she was like, bro, you should be my roommate. I was like cooking healthy meals every day. I was like working out every day. She was like, oh my God, I need you in my life. So when I was about to leave, she was like, I'm so sad.
Oh.
But it's okay. Now she has like a house and she's married and has kids. But
That's good.
yeah, I was like, dude, now we have this to look back on. That was like such a
Yeah.
dope time.
Yeah.
But I literally was like, dude, give me 7 days at your house. I'll figure it out. And I like figured it out.
That's good.
Yeah, thank God.
That's
but
good.
yeah, I
Good
moved
for you.
to Hollywood.
That's
But
fun.
she lived in Santa Monica, so I was like, I was
Santa
feeling
Monica's
bougie.
kind of nice.
Yeah, I was feeling bougie when I first moved out there.
Yeah. Santa Monica is definitely better than like downtown LA for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But I'm definitely really glad that I live in Hawaii. I feel like really attached to this place now.
Yeah. You're gonna be here forever, probably,
Um,
or at least for the current time being.
I would say like maybe my goal, kind of like long term. If I were to think, I'm really bad at thinking long term. Like I
Okay.
really focus on the moment.
She's like, wait,
But
commitment.
hypothetically, yeah, I got serious commitment issues. Like,
Oh,
it's
okay, okay.
it's not great.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, I like have a very successful business, and everything goes well with that, and then I'll retire in the Philippines or somewhere in
Ooh,
Asia.
I see what you're saying.
So,
okay, yeah.
because I was supposed to go to Asia, and I got a full ride scholarship, like with my school when I was going to school, and I worked so hard for that scholarship, and I applied like multiple years, and finally my senior year I got it, and it was like a $10,000 scholarship to study abroad. And I was really excited because I've loved studying about Asian culture and stuff, and that fell through because of COVID, because I graduated in 2020.
Shit.
Yeah. So I was really disappointed. So last year,
Wait, where would it have taken you?
Taiwan.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That would have been clutch.
Yeah. So last year I ended up moving to Taiwan. I was like, you know what? Like, life is short and I want to try. So I moved there by myself. And I
Dude,
taught
you're fucking
English.
brave,
I
dude.
know.
What the hell?
Because I was like, well, if I can move to Hawaii and not know anybody, I can move to Asia and not know anybody.
No, it is
It was
not
actually
comparable.
very different. It was very different.
Nobody fucking speaks English.
No, they don't. But, I can speak some Chinese, so I was like, it'd be
true.
good practice. I remember the first week that I got there,
You
though.
got Google Translate now?
Yeah, but it doesn't work on menus. And it doesn't really work on street signs.
Oh, shoot.
And it was like, I remember the first week I got there, the whole time I was like, deer in the headlights.
You were just like, whatever has chicken in it. Like,
yeah, I
oh my
could not.
God.
I never really knew what I was eating, but the food was great.
I never knew what I was eating.
One time I actually asked somebody, because whatever I was eating was like super good, and they're like, oh, it's like pig intestines. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, I'm never asking
I'm not asking
again.
anymore.
Yeah, you gotta just go in the restaurant and like look at what everybody else has.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then just like, oh, that one.
But it's pretty easy, like, to order in Chinese. It's like, even if you don't know what you're ordering, you just say, I want this. So you say, well, yeah, 这个, 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 well, yeah, 这个. And they're like, okay, like, how about? Okay. And that's it. So it was pretty
Interesting.
simple. And I did get to a point where I felt like relatively comfortable, and then I like flew into that airport and I was able to order a taxi, tell them my address, and like do all the things, and I was like, wow, this is so cool.
That is cool.
And it was fun, and I made like the best friends, like the coolest people I met there, honestly, within the first week, and I'm still really good friends with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was like a huge part of my development too, of just like realizing that I can do whatever I put my mind to, and not to like let fear hold me back. You know? I guess that's been a really big theme in my life.
Yeah, I mean, you've displayed like incredible fearlessness, like going to different places.
Well, but
especially
the funny
being
thing is,
young
I'm
and
still
like not
scared.
knowing
I just do it
people.
anyways.
Yeah. Well, you don't let fear hold you back, which is like, I mean, you wouldn't have had those experiences if you just didn't go.
Yeah.
I know people that like have never freaking left Hawaii, and then when they have, like the only places that they've gone is like Vegas or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's not. I personally believe that everybody should travel at least outside of the United States.
Yeah.
And like, I haven't even gone to, like, you know, in comparison to like friends and stuff, they're like super well traveled. Like I'm definitely not well traveled like that, but I've at least been around the Mediterranean and like, you know, to Spain and you know, so.
Yeah, Spain is super cool. I was there last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I spent New Year's. I guess right before New Year's, I spent Christmas there, so that was fun.
I got there's like a museum that has like my family name in it and stuff.
Really?
Of like my family, and I have to like go find it or like go check it out and like
that's
do.
so
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't really get to deep dive there. That was just like where our I went on a Carnival cruise, and that's where the Carnival cruise was leaving from. So we just like flew there, but we like stayed at the Four Seasons. Like our hotel was like an apartment building.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I remember walking in there and being like, "What the fuck?"
That's
like
so cool.
the door was like bigger than like this whole thing, and they had like all these bottles of alcohol, and it was just like yours. And I was like,
wow.
"What?" I was like, "I would get so fucked up. I love it here." Yeah, it was great.
That's the best. That's the best. Yeah, I definitely encourage traveling. I feel like it's just such a good way to see the world and open up your perspectives and stuff. It just sounds so cheesy because everybody says it, but it really changed
It's true.
me.
It's true. Kind of throwing yourself in the fire. My friend was telling me last night about how he just up and like moved to New York. Yeah. And his friends were like, "Oh, cool, man. Like, you like it there?" And he's like, "I don't know. I've never been." But he literally like was like, "I have money in my account. I was like, I'm gonna fit everything in 2 suitcases and a backpack, and I'm gonna move." And I'm like, dude, that's dope. I mean, I feel like being a guy, you can be a little braver, you know, but that's still really dope.
No, we can still be just as brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like if I were a guy, I would be less scared. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Is
like
what I mean.
safety-wise and stuff?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I caught the travel bug when I was 15. So I had like I grew up homeschooled, but I had like a group that we would meet once a week together. And it was kind of like our graduation, I guess. And so they were asking what we wanted to do, and I was like, let's go to Europe. And like somehow that actually ended up happening. And I was like,
That's
yes.
so awesome.
And
what
that
part of Europe did you go to?
I went to London, Paris, Florence, Rome, and then
I love Rome.
yeah, Rome
I just
was
watched
cool.
Gladiator.
Oh,
The new one.
nice.
Ugh.
I'm slacking. I need to watch that. My friends are talking about it a lot. But anyway, so I did all of that, and I met some amazing people that I'm still really good friends with too in London. And like I stayed with my great uncle in like a little town called Todi in Italy, and it was very eye-opening for me. Because I grew up in such a small town with such a small community. And then after I just saw there was so much to see. And I remember being like super overwhelmed. And like the tour was very stressful. Like so many things happening. Yeah. Because it was like
too many plans.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
It was like a week tour with EF Tours. And they'd like crammed in like so many things.
Shit. Yeah.
It was nuts. But it was amazing. And I really, really liked it. And I knew that I wanted to travel more when I got older. So it's like, it's really cool to kind of like look back on my life and see like, oh my gosh, like I want to travel, I want to do this, I want to have my own business, and then I'm able to like see that like all coming true.
Yeah.
And it's literally like a dream come true. It's amazing. And now I live in Hawaii and I have my own business and I'm able to travel and I'm able to like do what it is I want to do.
Yeah, let's talk about your business.
Yeah, so
Tell me about it.
you can show my business card.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to see it as much, but
So yeah, that's either way is fine. But anyway, so I got my LLC last year and I really wanted to teach surfing lessons. And honestly, I want to teach a lot of different things. I grew up teaching horseback riding lessons because I had a horse. And my parents are like awesome in the
Oh my God, if I had a horse, I would have stayed Mormon. Just saying.
Yeah, she was pretty great. She was pretty
just
great.
crying. Married to a man.
She was so freaking cute though.
Aww.
I freaking loved her.
What was your horse's name?
Her name was Dozen.
Dozen?
Yeah. Yeah. Her father was Baker, so she's like a baker's
That's
dozen.
hilarious.
Yeah. She was my
Nice.
sister's best friend's horse, and I saved up money for like 5 years so that I could like buy her.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then she was my best friend for like years and years.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cool.
Where is she now?
In horse heaven.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
R.I.P.
I know. But anyway, so
how long do horses live?
They live till like 25.
Oh really?
Between 25 and 35. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I ended up doing the horseback riding lessons as soon as I got her because I had no other way to like afford paying for hay.
Yeah, that
and my
makes
parents
sense.
are like really encouraging of like if you want to do something, you got to go out and do it. And like they didn't have a whole lot of money to be able to support all of my grand dreams and stuff. And they're like, all right, if you want a horse, save up money and buy it. And like, okay, if you want to keep the horse, you got to get a job. So I was like working. Like I sold brownies when I was 9, like door to door, so that I could save up money.
From the very beginning.
Right from the beginning, selling brownies for $1.99 a plate and like walking down the streets.
That's so interesting. I grew up going to the swap meet. Like my parents had a stand there.
Oh, cool.
And there were days where I would make more money than them.
Wow.
I was like the very first person to sell Pokemon cards there.
Wow.
Because I was a kid.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, they kind of encouraged me in the same way, but then they like regretted it because then I would like come back with a guitar and like all this shit. They're like, where did you get that? I'm like, I bought it. And they're like, what? Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I feel like it's a good lesson, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Teach kids that.
I learned how to work really hard because I'd be so motivated on what I wanted, and I was pretty obsessed with horses. I mean, it's just maybe slight horse girl vibes. But yeah, I really, really wanted the horse. So I did nannying. I did door to door selling brownies. And then I got to where I started making bread. And that's how I was able to fund my Europe trip.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, just naturally, I've always been someone that's, like, been an entrepreneur. And then with the horse, I started teaching horse riding lessons. And I realized that I really like teaching. So, honestly, like, whatever it is, like, that I teach, it's so fulfilling to me. Because I can see somebody start from, like, really, like, nervous and not feeling confident to, like, being able to, like, reach their goal and stand up on the surfboard. Like, I've had 100% success rate getting people to stand on the surfboard.
That's awesome.
And it's like, it's so fulfilling to me and it makes me so happy. And it's such a beautiful place to learn how to surf.
I always tell people, if you can stand, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been teaching for about 6 months and I've done a lot of research and like have done a lot of preparation to be able to like try to teach people how to pop up perfectly. And it's like really paying off because people are able to pop up, and even when they're nervous, they stand up and they just are so excited. And I feel that excitement, and honestly, that's what I want to do for a long, long time.
That's awesome. So you do the rock climbing, and then you do the surfing, and then the fire spinning. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the fire spinning is getting started. It started with surfing, and then I have rock climbing tours now as well. And then I also have fire spinning classes. So the fire spinning is pretty cool, and we teach them about the history of fire spinning and have like a very small, intimate group, and then show them the different moves that they do. We teach about fire safety, and then if they feel comfortable, they light up, and then take lots of pictures and stuff. And
that's cool.
It's a pretty unique experience to come to Hawaii and to be able to say that you spun fire.
Yeah.
You know, so
they do it with the staff.
Yeah, there's two different props that I'm teaching. So I teach dragon and I teach staff. So they're like a little bit different. And so it kind of just depends on like how the person feels and like what they kind of pick up a little bit easier. So yeah, that's something cool that I do, but I don't have that set up on my website quite yet because I need a professional photographer to take some more photos of it and stuff. It's such a process as an entrepreneur.
Grant's number.
Yeah, I do. I got to get some more professional photos and then like get that all set up and just have that on my website and then create the booking and then do the marketing. And it's like, man, it's such a process. It's taken me so long to get to this point.
Well, it's
easy.
Worth it. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
We'll get you set up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dang, that sounds awesome. So what are your future plans? Just like keep doing this until there's a country you Google that you're like, I want to go live there.
I mean, technically I could teach surfing in the Philippines too. Like there's a lot of places I could teach.
That's true.
Yeah. But I think for now, like I want to grow my business to the point where it's like very fluid and I have like certain days that I do surfing lessons that are all booked out and then 2 days that I do rock climbing and it's all booked out and just like have that like in a really good flow. And then this is like the potential. If everything is going well with that, then I could start like almost like retreats where I have a day like I have an itinerary for like a week or something.
That would be cool.
Because I know so many people in the community in Hawaii that like teach acro yoga and do free diving and do scuba diving and like there's so many people
pay like $10,000 to go and do a retreat.
Yeah. And then I could have people that I know personally and I could have each person have a day or a certain selected time and have this like ultimate Hawaii Adventour. So my business is called Hawaii Adventours. So there's like a lot of different tours that you can do that's like an adventure.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's the thought of having this become something bigger and maybe even get like really nice property, like if I want like people all to stay in the same place. But who knows?
Yeah, that could be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like a cabin somewhere or something.
Right? Wouldn't that
like
be so cool?
On the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even if you rented it, like you could like rent a spot somewhere or something.
And honestly, I feel like being outside and rock climbing and surfing and doing all these things, like it creates like it's so therapeutic. Like it really helps people like get out of their head and like to be outside. And I think that is something that I really want to advocate for.
I was actually surfing a shit ton when I was getting divorced because I was so stressed. And my friend's like, we should go surfing. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh.
And then like I realized like, yeah, it was like the best because I was just like, you're just focusing on what you're doing. That's kind of why I like jujitsu too. Like you're focusing about what you're doing in the moment. Yeah. Like you can't really like, even if you're stressing about something, like you're in the water like about to try to not drown. You know what I mean? Like you have like other things going on.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm reading this book called Ikigai, and it's all about finding that flow state where like you're totally focused on that and it's like time doesn't matter, nothing else matters except that one thing that you're doing. And that's where you find happiness of like not having anything else and you're able to focus 100% on the project that you're doing.
Oh wait, what's that other book that you mentioned?
Which
Educated?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Educated was also like a really
interesting book because you aligned with the girl the story was about.
Yeah, Tara Westover was the one that wrote Educated, and she like came from a very small community, kind of like me, and came from like homeschooled, and like I wasn't like discouraged to go to college, but I wasn't totally encouraged. They were just like, oh, you know, like you don't really need to, like you can get married and like whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, but I did want to go to school, and I was really intimidated to go to school because
Oh, really?
because I'd been to like 1 year of high school, but like I literally had people tell me that I shouldn't go to college if I hadn't gone to high school. And I was like,
Like socially, were you nervous?
no,
Like,
not socially, just like academically. I was like, what if I'm not smart? Like, what if I can't do it?
She's over here making millions, buying a horse and shit. Like, I'm not smart. Like,
I didn't think about it like that.
yeah. Wait, yeah, like when you're in that, like you have nothing to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
honestly,
I didn't even think that when I was a kid, like the stuff I was doing, like
I think I was most
to me it was
intimidated
normal.
by standardized testing because I had no experience with that and I had no formal education. So if I wanted to go into school, I'd have to be able to do well on standardized tests. And so I took the ACT and I didn't get a high enough score. So I took the ACT 6 times and I finally was able to get into college without like a high school diploma. But I went to college and I did great. I got a very good GPA, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's good. Well,
Yeah.
C's get degrees, they say,
Yeah.
which is my motto right now.
Exactly.
But I don't know how, but somehow I'm getting A's in my classes. But
Hey, good job.
that is so crazy. Dang, I thought of something when you were saying that about school. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think like essentially college is a scam, but in a lot of ways. But there are people that really gain a lot, you know, from it.
Yeah. So I don't think I would like really encourage or discourage college either at this point because of like honestly the way the economy is. Like it's like you don't really need a college degree to do a lot of the different things.
That's the thing. Yeah.
If you want to be an engineer, definitely like go to school. If you want to be a doctor, go to school.
It's not every single career path. Yeah. Totally.
My global communication degree, even though like it was really good for me and like my mental health and like helping me like uncover all the things that I went through in my childhood and stuff and like deciding like what's a priority to me and my beliefs and stuff, I wouldn't say that it really like benefited me monetarily. Does that make sense?
Right. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I did remember what I was going to say about, because you talked about the standardized testing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully my mom doesn't see this story, but this is a true story. So we had to do like junior testing or whatever. And this is what ended up happening. So I was drinking with my friends the night before, show up super hungover, put my name on the paper, answer like 1 or 2 questions, knock out the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
She tells us we have 10 minutes left. I wake back up,
What?
totally well rested now at this
What?
point because I slept for like a whole hour.
Oh my gosh.
Answer process of elimination, answer as many questions I knew the answer,
Yeah.
and then went back and like then use the remaining time to answer the questions I needed more time on. I scored in the top 10%.
Oh my gosh.
Of my high school.
Lucy,
And I was like, you don't need to study for
people
shit.
Like you. I literally hated people like you.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
so unfair.
it was just like stupid testing. It wasn't like an SAT or like,
Yeah.
it was just for them to like score everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, why would I give a shit, you know?
Yeah. I think I learned with the ACT scores was that like, you know, maybe I'm not like the brightest cookie, but I'll work freaking hard to get what I want.
Yeah,
And, like,
I mean,
I'm just going to keep trying until I get what it is that I want.
determination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Determination and bravery, you have those things, which is really good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I don't really like tell that story as like a flex because I mean in Hawaii like our education system's so bad, like I'm in the top 10% of a bunch of idiots, you know what I mean? So it's just like funny because like obviously I didn't expect that at all. I was like
That's impressive.
and then they're like, ooh, good job, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like I was asleep for like an hour of it.
Like this was fueled by vodka, like.
That's cool. That's impressive. That's a good story.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on and
Yeah.
talking about your business. And
Yeah,
now I
thank
want to go
you.
rock climbing. So
Yeah,
that'll be
seriously.
fun.
Yeah, come
you've
rock climbing, fire
inspired
spinning.
me.
It's such a good way to like remember like your priorities and not just get so focused on the rat race, you know? And be outside and find that flow and like find those things that make you happy, and honestly like then you can live a really good, really long life. So
Yeah, well, we don't get into nature as much as we should, you know?
for sure.
Like I always tell my friend, like, we're human beings, but how much time do we spend being?
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That's so true. And yeah, I think that should be like a core motto for my business is like,
Oh, shit.
yeah,
Yeah, you can have that one
something-
for free.
Well, I mean, I won't take your exact words, but definitely something.
Put it into
along those
ChatGPT
lines.
and be like, make this sound not like Lucy would say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys so much for watching Lucy's Paradise podcast. Please follow Ali. I'm going to link all of her social media and her business in the description so you can go on an awesome rock tour or surf, learn to surf, or be an awesome fire spinner. And then you can like impress all of your family when they come and visit you in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Sounds
for
good.
watching. Please
Thanks,
like and
Lucy.
subscribe, of course. And thank you for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Aloha.